Hello, I'm Alex Mansfield, the host of Manny Talks Shooting, and welcome to another episode. This is the shooting podcast where I talk to individuals all across the shooting industry. We'll talk competition, self-defense, concealed carry. If you like this content, check out our YouTube channel, Manny Talks Shooting. And without further ado, let's get to this episode. Manny Talks Shooting is proudly presented to you by D2 Custom Guns. Did you know that Phil the Groundhog isn't the only thing Puxatawny, Pennsylvania is famous for? That's right, D2 Custom Guns, the home of Dan Heizenreiter and one of the best, fabulous 2011 builders in the country. So make sure you guys go check him out, D2 Custom, anywhere you can see him on the social media, Facebook, Instagram, go check him out. If you see myself, Patches Reader, anyone with the D2 Custom Guns, make sure you go check him out, and you will thank me later. Now, let's get on to the show. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another installment of Manny Talks Shooting. I've been in the podcast layer more often than not lately, but that's good because you're getting shows consistently. Today, we're sitting down with the man who wants to get a GM card in being a range official, the guy who loves driving in his Miata by himself with no leg room. We're talking today with Mr. Luke Elwood. How you doing, Luke?
Good. How are you today, Alex?
I'm doing fantastic, and if I can't throw punchy punch one intros, I don't know what I'm good for. But it's all good. People you might not have heard of Luke, you might have if you've listened to Not Another Shooting Show, where my friend Andy and his acquaintance Jeff interviewed him and talked to him about Oklahoma sectional last year. You might have heard him about then, and if not, well, you'll get to know him more because I want to sit down with him. We're gonna talk about a lot of good things, and you'll enjoy this show. But without further ado, Luke, for people who don't know you, have never heard of you before, maybe. Give them the 5 little minute speech of who are you and how'd you get into shooting?
Okay, so I got into shooting. I guess I've been around guns my whole life. My dad taught me to shoot pistols when I was probably 10. Ruger Mark III, 2245, and he had and I bet he still has it, a Ruger P89, real quality firearm. I owned guns most of my life, my whole adult life. I've owned them. I didn't get into competition shooting of any sort until early 2024, I guess. The guys who run my local gun shop, K&S Precision here in Fredericksburg, Texas, they've been doing these running gun matches, like 8 to 10 mile, 2-gun, basically carry all your shit the whole way. So I started doing those in West Texas, South Texas through the Mystery Ops organization. And then one of my buddies that I met through that, Dat Hong out of Austin, he shoots USPSA out of there, M-class CO shooter, awesome dude. He started telling me about USPSA. I showed up to the July match at Austin Practical and was hooked. At that point, started shooting damn near every week. 1-2 matches a week, got my RO card, started working matches, and at that point kind of just that's when it really set in, and I was they got me.
Yeah, that you got hook, line, and sinkered. You're like,
100% just fully in all the way. That was so. Yeah, I've been shooting pretty consistently for probably 6 months when I got my RO certification, and that was in February of last year. February 10th, I think, is my initial certification date. So just over a year ago, I worked a number of matches in the spring. I'd actually, end of February, I did something dumb, rolled a side-by-side, shattered my left arm, couldn't shoot with 2 hands, was shooting strong hand only at 3 or 4 majors last spring that I staffed. So I started working from home at that point, was just, had a lot more time and fell in love with working. I was like, okay, I can still go to major matches. I can make a difference. I can do something good, do something productive. And that really just got me hooked after the Texas State Open, Dragons Cup, Lone Star State, and Double Tap last year. George Jones, the RMI, and Troy gave me the approval to take my CRO class in August. And then I worked 10 or 11 matches over the fall. I know I worked like 9 in 9 weeks. That was kind of dumb.
Yeah. Well, if you don't have to go home, it's fine, right?
Yeah, I think I added it up at the end of that span. It started after at IPSC Nationals and ended with Georgia State Championship. And I know over a 70-day span, I think I slept in my own bed 12 nights.
Oof.
That was a lot. There was a couple like straight 2.5 weeks on the road in that stretch.
Yeah. No, thank you. Me, no, thank you. I couldn't do it. One, I would miss my dogs too much.
I'm single, don't have kids, don't have dogs, don't have cats. It's just me, so it gives me the freedom to do this.
This is true. Although I have seen some ROs travel with their dogs.
I've seen some travel with their whole families.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I couldn't imagine to do that.
That's a lot. There's a couple of them I can think of that I've seen that'll travel with the wife, the kids, and the dogs in an RV.
Yeah, but that makes sense. Like they got the RV. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The kids can sit in the RV and play video games on the internet while daddy's doing something else.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of the husband and wife teams will work matches together, shoot together.
Yeah. Oh, and I brain farted my question. It's okay because I'll eventually find it again. It's somewhere up here. No, yeah. So you got your RO card. You started. You were shooting your local matches. You're silly and you shattered your left arm. Why'd you continue? Why'd you keep? I mean, I know you still signed up to work, but why even shoot the match? Right? Why not just work it?
So I shot my first match after that injury. I was still like arm in a sling, could not move it. I shot my first match was a steel challenge match 8 days out of the hospital. I had a lot of free time. I didn't see any reason not to. It was well within what was safe. I will say I have very little desire to ever shoot Dragon's Cup strong hand only again. That was an experience that could be described as slightly rough. But no, it was something to do. I figured if I'm going to be here, I'm going to work the match. Why not shoot it?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a good experience. I shoot strong hand only a hell of a lot better than most people do.
Yeah, there you go.
At least most people at my level do, I would say.
Yeah, just be like Mason Lane and just shoot strong hand only and destroy everybody.
So one of the guys I shot Dragon's Cup with is from up there with Mason. He's buddies with Mason, shoots with him. And we were talking about that because I had just gotten off the wait list to shoot Factory Gun Carry Optics Nationals. And I knew I was still going to have one hand by then. And we're talking about it. I was like, I don't know if it's worth it to pay as a competitor, $2,000 plus to go up and shoot Factory Gun Nationals. I was like, I know Mason Lane did it. And this dude looks at me and he goes, "Look, you ain't Mason Lane." I was like, no argument from me there. Not a single bit of argument from me there. And actually, I mentioned that story to Mason last week in Puerto Rico, and he laughed, and he said he was like, "It wasn't a fun experience for me either."
Right? Oh yeah, I can imagine that. Like, I think I remember I kind of just got into the sport when he did that. By that time, it was like Carry Optics or Limited. No, it must have been Carry Optics Nationals.
Was it still called? It was called Carry Optics Nationals then, I think.
Well, no, but it was in St. George. It was like Carry Optics Limited was the Nationals out there. And
sounds right.
And because he had in production earlier in the season, he did it, and he wasn't as good. I mean, he was still Mason Lane good, but like he was almost back to full speed, like shooting kind of like strong hand only. By the time Carry Optics came around,
with a dot, I think it's probably a little bit easier.
Yeah, and yeah, it could be, especially with a SIG. It's where it's kind of heavy enough, but not too heavy.
Yeah,
yeah. Think about just carrying
those 320s have good weight.
Around. Think about carrying an open gun around, strong hand only. Like I got to have like a bicep like made like
and shooting open now. I'm like, oh, this would not have been fun. The Glock, it wasn't bad. I mean, you can transition a Glock pretty quick with one hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't know if you listened to it or not today, but the NROI podcast that came out, you got mentioned a couple times.
Did it come out today?
Yeah, it did come out today. It was funny because Troy made fun of you for signing up twice.
Oh, that's the one that came out. Isn't that the one that came out like a week ago?
Maybe?
Yeah, it came out like last Monday because I was sitting or 2 Mondays ago. I was sitting in a bar. I was sitting in a bar in Puerto Rico.
Oh, yeah.
a couple days before Caribbean Open, and I was feeling pretty good. And I looked down at my phone, and it's a text message from somebody that just said, "Hey, you were just mentioned on the NROI podcast."
Oh,
It's
so I
like,
must have listened to last week's episode. This week's episode I haven't listened to yet.
yeah, I listened to the whole episode. Yeah, Troy got a chuckle out of that. I was so excited. I signed up twice.
Which I don't know. The system shouldn't allow you to. You know.
I think what happened honestly was I'm trying to remember. I think I hit submit, and then the computer wasn't moving fast enough, so I hit submit again, and it double submitted it. And I realized it when I looked at my email and had 2 confirmations for, I don't remember if it was Carry Optics or Race Gun or Factory Gun Nationals, but it was one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I filled out my extra information form. It was probably, God, it's been, well, at least been 2 weeks. So
yeah, I unfortunately filled out my extra information form and then had to drop out of Race Gun Nationals.
Boo.
The pre-match for IPSC Pan American is conflicting with the main match for Race Gun.
Oh yeah, because no one makes sense to schedule those and not put them on this like back to back.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of an issue for. I don't think there's a ton of staff crossover.
No, not without looking at the list. Like, there's some names I could ring off a bell that, yeah, if I looked at the list, like, oh, that'll be a problem. That'll be a problem.
So I talked to, because I got my application in to work Pan American, and I think there's a couple of the IROA certified Americans that'll probably go, and then I think there's only 2 of us that are just NROI certified right now that are going.
Yeah, because there's not many IROA. A U.S. IROA.
There's currently 6 or 7. There's 2 that are currently pending provisional, I think. Russell's one of them. Russell and Yuritsa's going for NROI.
Mm-hmm.
And her IROA is pending. Russell's is pending. Mine will be in after. I'll put my application in after, at this point, after the Ontario Provincial Championship in September.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a decent clip.
Yeah, because I'll be going straight from Pan American, fly back to Dallas, or fly back home to Austin probably, jump in my car and drive straight to Canada.
Are you gonna shoot or just work that one?
I am going to shoot it. The RM for the match has offered kindly to loan me a gun.
There you go. Yeah, that makes that so much easier.
I think I'm going to shoot IPSC Classic or USPSA single stack up there. Hey, if everything's 10 round, why not?
Right, yeah. Instead of trying to shoot an open gun with 10 rounds.
So it's funny. I just shot Extreme with the Canadian guys, the Canadian RM, the couple of the Canadian RMs, IRO guys, some of their other NROI officials. We shot, and they all shoot open, and we all shot Extreme. And it took me about 5 stages in. I'm looking at Richard's belt.
Oh, Richard O? Yeah.
Yes. I looked at Richard's belt, and I was like, Richard, is this the belt you use for open up in Canada? And he goes, yeah, you just noticed? There's like 6 mag pouches on this belt for open. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, that is right. 10 round mags in open.
Yeah, but the nice thing is you don't need big sticks.
No.
Like, there's no need for a big stick in Canada. Mind
you really
you just
don't
leave them down here in the States or borrow one.
Yeah. You really don't. I don't know. Open 10 is an interesting concept. I mean, I guess if you look at it, certainly wouldn't advocate for those gun laws, but hey, at least everybody's on the same terms in terms of how many mags they've got in their gun.
Yeah.
It's certainly equitable enough.
Yeah. It is. It's all the same.
Now, to be fair, like Open 10, PCC 10 doesn't sound like an amazing time.
Yeah.
I occasionally will shoot limited 10 here just for my own amusement, but
yeah, but that's for the amusement. It's not like you're forced to do that all the time.
Yeah, I don't want to shoot L10 all the time.
Right. So yeah, so you must have what? Richard,
Ricky Ma.
Because I think Richard's the only one out of them that's Iroa.
Ricky just got his.
Oh, that's right. I think he was waiting for IPSC, US IPSC National. They were on me like stink on shit to get the match uploaded to IPSC.
Oh,
And I thank them very much because I was the stats guy for IPSC Nationals.
oh,
and so I'm like, huh? What do I got to do? So I called Richard. I'm like, what do you guys like? And their system is wonky because there's supposed to be a way to import practice score data to
ICS.
Yeah. And I'm like, huh? And then he's like, dude, the manual way. It's so much faster to do it the manual way where you just type their names and their country instead of having it import.
Yes. See, I didn't know that I needed to have an IPSC alias for IPSC Nationals last year.
Oh yeah, well, I don't think I did. I don't think I know either, or I know, but I did make myself I'm on the portal, that IPSC portal now.
Yes, I am too. I don't know if Extreme uploaded results or not.
I would hope so.
You'd hope so. I don't think it listed it yet when I looked a couple days ago, but it's interesting to see classifications. The Canadian guys crack me up because I was asking Ricky and Richard just both beat the brakes off me at Extreme. And I'm a low B class for most of the divisions I shoot, LO and CO at least. And those guys both beat the brakes off me. And I asked them, I'm like, what's your USPSA classification? Because I know you're USPSA members too. And they're like, oh yeah. And Ricky's at like 70 something percent A, and Richard's a B, 70 something percent B, and Richard's a C. And they told me they get accused of sandbagging heavily whenever they shoot local matches in the US because their classifications are almost entirely based off of majors match performance.
That and their initial classifications. So there's a club that will cater to the Canadians up here in Michigan, and they'll come over and they'll shoot, which is great because they can accommodate the space. But yeah, when they did like one or two classifier matches, and yeah, that's what they got initially classified in. Yes. Ricky's a good A class level open shooter.
Oh, Ricky's absolutely an A class open shooter, but yeah, he's shooting. Yeah, you're a 74% if your classification's based almost entirely off of how you finish compared to Christian.
Yeah, and then Richard's a B class. He just
solidly B class.
But the best part is he gets those C class trophies, and I think he chuckles about it. But mind you, he's the guy driving the Tesla or the Taekwondo van.
Yes, I love the Taekwondo van.
Yeah, they bring so much crap. I love them, but they brought so much shit to IPSC Nationals. Like, we got the big old speaker, we got the big old screen on our
everything. Stage. Yeah, everything. They bring it all. They drove down from Canada for Extreme.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
I think
if you already have to struggle through the border, might as well take everything you need.
Yes.
And just drive the van.
Ricky flew, and the rest of them brought his stuff down.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I love going to the rivet party afterwards, though, because then it's like rivet party, and they got to put the rivets back in their mags.
Oh yeah, yes. Ugh.
Richard's bougie though. He's got the Milwaukee electric.
I saw it in his bag that he has an electric rivet popper. I was like, if you're gonna do it, that's the way to do it. Make it easy on yourself.
Right. Yeah. So you shoot down in Austin area. What would you say is your home club?
Austin Practical Shooting, Alex Acosta's club.
Okay, so. And Austin's got a decent amount of shooting around there. Like there's
Caps, APSC, Caps. Temple still has matches, and then down in San Antonio, there's River City and Alpha Mike.
Yep.
I can shoot if I'm shooting locals. I can consistently because I'll drive for locals too. I don't care. I'll go drive 2.5 hours. I'll go drive to San Angelo or Odessa sometimes, or up to Dallas every other month or so. I try to get up to Dallas to shoot with those guys. Realistically, I can comfortably shoot 2 locals a weekend almost every month or every week.
Well, you love driving, so it makes sense.
It's if I'm home, I can do it. Honestly, looking at my schedule this year, I'm not going to be home much.
Right? Yeah, you've got a lot on your calendar, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Yeah.
But
No,
Austin's a great club. Alex runs a great club out there. These stages are designed to prepare people for majors.
as locals should, right?
Yes.
Like I think some of the clubs and some clubs do it better than others, but the ones who make it just a hose fest or don't put much thought into the stages, you're not preparing anyone for the next level. But when you find clubs that do prepare shooters for the next level, you find them that they do fairly well at
Yeah.
majors or at
The
least
quality of competition at local matches in Austin. I mean, at a good well attended local, which that match is full every month. But if the real heat shows up, you could be looking at 8 to 12 GMs there.
Yeah. Now, yeah. So you got like Acosta,
Emmett Reed,
Burkus.
Nick Rucker just got his G. Chris Harris, Roy Stedman.
Shock Bottle, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
I met him at IPSC.
Yeah. Roy's been in the sport a long time.
Yeah, I met him and I'm like, oh, you're the Shock Bottle guy. It was more funny that that's all he had on his belt, which was more funny. But it's like, I made this, might as well use it.
Who else is out of there? Yeah, there's a solid 10 to 12 GMs out of there now.
Yeah.
Tony Wong shoots PCC.
Does he still shoots?
Tony?
Yeah.
Yeah, not as often, I don't think, but I still see Tony out there.
Oh, okay, yeah. His left when I remember the last time I talked to him, I was like, I'm going to shoot my Glock left-handed, or I'm going to turn this Glock into an open gun and shoot it.
The first time I heard about Tony, somebody was telling me about the guy out of Austin that decided he was going to GM carry optics with a Glock 26.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that is still one of the wildest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, GM 26.
Yep.
And then I remember he tried to get into golf for a little bit, but now Coy's getting into golf.
Yeah. Blair Hawthorne out of West Texas is a hell of a golfer too.
Oh, Blair who hunts. Funny, I texted him the other day. I was driving home from work, and literally like 100 sandhill cranes were sitting in the field, and I'm like, I couldn't stop to take a picture because I would have, and I'm like, come get him.
Right? Yeah. No, I think he's been about ready to ramp back up into pistol shooting now that he's done with shotguns for the shotgun season's coming to a close.
Yeah. God, there's a bunch of good shooters down in Texas. So, brain fart. It's okay. Oh, there we go. Found it. Found it somewhere in that brain fart. No. So, do you get time to practice, or is it pretty much just your match? A local match is practice.
There's days it feels like I'm just using level 2s as practice these days.
Yeah.
But so it's funny. I always joke with people, and I realistically, I had to actually sit down and think about this, and I was like, okay, because everybody would ask me that, do you practice? And I'd be like, no, not really. And then I thought about it. I was like, okay, no, I dry fire maybe. I do less than I probably should to make real noticeable performance goals, but I dry fire, I'd say 45-ish to an hour a week, and then I try to get 100 to 200 rounds or so of live fire in a week. I'm lucky. I live on a large property out here that's some friend zone, and I can shoot on the property.
Oh, nice.
So I try to get 100, 200 in, just simple drills, just to keep the blood moving and go.
Mm-hmm.
I optimally, I'd like to practice more, but at the end of the day, I get home from a major where I've been driving. Sometimes I need to. I do find myself needing to establish some level of time away that I'm not driving, I'm not working, I'm not shooting, just to decompress a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I don't practice as much as I should to or I'd like to, but I do try to get in practice. I am this weekend I'm taking the 2-day Tim Herron practical performance class. He's out
in your backyard.
I wish, in my backyard. Got to get a full bay built up in my backyard before I can do that. It's on the plan, but no. Tim's teaching a class just east of Austin, so I'm going out there to take that.
Nice.
And then I actually about a month ago I was up in Dallas for the weekend, and I got to get in a couple hours worth of training with Matt Chua.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And Chewy's awesome. Champ. Yeah. Oh, he's so fast.
Well, it's more funny as they started that podcast. They changed the name to Raw Time Champ, and then they died.
That's funny. I need to. I don't know if I've ever actually listened to their podcast.
They have. So the best part is they have a token white guy,
Oh God, what is his name? God, it's gonna escape me. Matt will remind me what his name was. He shot production for the longest time, but
Who is their token white?
This is gonna bother me now. To the Instagrams, or you just message Matt. Who's your token white guy?
That's actually what I was doing. Was just texting Matt who his token white was.
Oh God, it's gonna bother me now. He wanted to. He was gonna restore like a Bronco or something. Last I heard of him on the podcast, he was restoring his Bronco.
I mean, that's a pretty good goal.
Yeah, that thing was rusted out. It was. It's okay, people of the internet. You will suffer through me scrolling or searching the webs. Oh, raw time champ.
I think they stopped their podcast even before I got into the sport.
His name was Connor. That's who it was.
Connor. I don't know if I know him.
It's okay. Let's see if we go here and then we search Connor, because you would think that they'd be following one of the host's own pages. You would hope, right?
Oh, Connor Knutson. Matt just texted me back.
Yep, there you go. Yep, token white guy of the Raw Time Champ podcast.
Nice. Who else was on that? It was Matt, Calvin, Coy?
Yeah, Matt, Calvin, Coy, and Connor.
Nice. Yeah, they haven't recorded one in a while, I don't think.
Oh, it's been since, let's see, at least since March of 2024. Almost 2 years now. At least that's what they posted on their social media.
Yeah, Matt said he's been working on a square body truck and helping his wife for the last 2 years.
See, there you go. Boom.
Nice.
And my wife decided to print something, since now something's coming off the printer.
Nice. Yeah, those guys have been, that Dallas crew has been really, really influential and helpful to me. Matt's a great sounding board whenever I have questions. We just, 3 weeks out, he and I organized an RO seminar up there at Mission 160. So we've got George Jones flying in to teach that, get some more ROs up in the North Texas area. And yeah,
I'm surprised you got George Jones to actually travel.
George taught my CRO class, and I will say I specifically requested him for the seminar.
Gotcha. No, I met him at, was it Area 5? Or was it IPSC Nationals? I think it was Area 5. Because Brian was shooting with Christian on that squad as well.
Last year?
Yeah, well, yeah, not last year, yeah.
So I had taken my CRO down at Riverbend in Georgia the week before IPSC Nationals. George was the instructor. And yeah, it's CRO class. It's not that difficult. You do what you got to do. You learn a lot. But it's 6 days later. I'm running timer on our stage for Open Super Squad, and I turn around, and I'm about to run Brian, and there's George just standing there. And I was like, that was significantly more nerve-wracking to me than anything that happened during the CRO class.
Yeah. Well, it was more, I always joked with George, I'm like, so he's going to teach you to be a GM, and you're going to teach him to be a range master, right?
Good deal.
He's like, I'm too far gone.
I got a chuckle out of it. I went out to work the PCSL West Coast Two-Gun Championship in Richmond. Mm-hmm. And I used to live in Southern California for a while. So I drove down there, and I didn't shoot out there. I wish I had. My God. I have some buddies out there, so I linked up with them, got squatted with them to shoot Southwest Pistol League, shoot the Swipple match that next week. And I knew George was there, and I had to figure out some stuff with him for the lodging and such at the RO seminar. I think this would have been back end of November. Sorry. And I turn around, and there's George wearing Eric Graffel's jersey that he traded with him at World Shoot. I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've got a good Eric Graffel story. So we went and watched Carry Optics Nationals at Cardinal. God, what year was it? Was it 2024? Must have been 2024. It was the standalone match there. And my buddy Ken and I went down there for the day to watch. It was on Saturday. and it started to rain, and we had grabbed some lunch from Bobby, which I did pay for. He made mad. He was mad at me because I paid for my lunch because his sister-in-law was running the ticket counter, and he was cooking, and he's like, "Hi, Manny. Wait, did you pay?" Yes. He's like, "Arr," and I'm like, "It's okay. I'll grab a soda. It'll be fine." No. So my buddy Ken and I are eating under this this tent, and Eric comes back with like 10 bottles of Pro Grip. And so Ken jokingly said, "You must really like that stuff," not knowing a clue who he's talking to. And so I was talking to Eric. I'm like, "How was the flight?" Because I knew he had just shot a match and then was home for like a day and then went to the U.S.
Oof.
And he was like, "It's fine." And then he's like, "Yeah," he told my buddy Ken, like, "Oh yeah, I can't keep it out, my son out of it." And well, he told him they can't get it in France anyway, because I guess they can't ship it because of the alcohol content in it.
Oh, interesting.
So he got it, and he's like, I'm like, so Eric goes back to doing whatever, prepping to shoot a stage. I think it was the pickleball stage. And then when we walked away, and I'm like, "Do you know who you were just talking to?" Like that's the best shooter in the world.
That's the GOAT.
That's the GOAT. And he's like, "No, I had no idea." I'm like, "Yep, he's just a normal dude though."
Is I've run him a couple times now, IPSC Nationals, Extreme, and it's funny. He's a normal dude. Goes out there, resets, no ego, great guy. And then every time I watch him shoot, I'm just like, it's so boringly perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's not flashy. And then you look down and it's like, oh, and Eric just kicked the crap out of every single other person that has shot this stage.
Yeah, exactly. And then the one thing I don't care for when he shoots is like the crowd that shows up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, especially for me, if I was the stage crew, I'd be like, this is the nice thing about IPSC, the tarpy, the line, right? Don't crossy the line, which is nice until you have to reset around it, and then you got to like step over it or like go around it. Thank you for checking out another episode of Manny Talks Shooting. I greatly appreciate it. And if you could do me a favor, please go patronize our partners when you are available. We have always, as the title sponsor, D2 Custom Guns. We've got Outdoor Dynamics, Make Stuff Better, 2 Alpha Apparel, Range Panda, Laugh and Load, Hunter's HD Gold, and Southern Bobby Q. Now, thank you. Let's get on with this episode.
Yeah, they didn't have the lines at Extreme this year, but that's such a heavy IPSC match with foreign shooters that everybody kind of just knows what's going on.
Right. Now, it wasn't a staff reset match, was it?
It was not.
Okay, because that would have sucked.
Would have been rough.
Now, this year at Extreme, did you guys rotate zones, or was there enough shooters and staff to stay on one stage?
Oh, yes. No, there was enough to have every stage fully staffed. So yeah, I believe it was there were 3 zones. It was a 3-day match, 1 through 10, 11 through 20, and then 21 to 30.
Mm-hmm.
I know my stage was a 28 round, 29 round long course we had 3 ROs.
Yeah, I remember like years past, there would be like, oh, we have enough for 20 squad, like shooters and staff, right? And then like one zone, like if there was a ghost zone, the staff would just move to another of the 10, you know what I mean? Like the 10.
Oh, interesting. I've never experienced something like that. That is I think they, Extreme's in its 4th or 5th year now.
Yeah, at least coming to the US, yeah.
I think, because they've been doing it a while in Europe, Lubor and his crew. I think they had enough staff this year that everything was pretty well staffed.
Good. That's always good. That's the worst
was not staffed. It was not staffed well enough to do staff reset.
Yeah, well, and it just costs way too much money, right?
Oh yeah. No, I'm not a vehemently opposed to staff reset person.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that now you don't do this for the money, that's for sure. But I will say that the staff package for staff reset has to be a little bit better.
Oh right. Well, in staff reset, like
you also you need significantly more staff.
Yeah, like I don't know, like the people in the Carolinas and Georgia, they do it all the time. I'm like, does everyone just literally live 5 minutes from the range?
So I worked Area 6 last year, and it was a little bit of a thing. But I was talking to Ike Starnes, was one of the ROs on my stage, and he's out of Carolina. The CRO was David Burton out of Carolina.
Did he
And I
wear
was
his
asked,
kilt?
he wore his kilt. I've talked to Ike, and Ike and I have stayed in touch since. He's in the RM program now, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Very happy for him. I think Ike's gonna be a really good RM. And I had a bunch of questions for him, like, hey, things aren't running as smoothly as they possibly could. Is this how staff reset usually goes? And he was like, no, he was like, when staff reset's done right, it is actually more efficient. And I worked 2 weeks after that, I worked Georgia State Championship, and that was out at 17 South in Savannah.
Mm-hmm.
It was staff reset. I had an amazing stage crew and staff reset, and I can say it was one of the smoothest running matches for the stage that I've ever had. So I'm not completely opposed to staff reset. I can say I don't think I would want to do it every weekend.
Right. Yeah. And then, yeah. Oh, and then the shooters are like, we got done in it. We shot it 10 stages in a half day. I'm like,
yeah,
you didn't do anything.
Yeah, I can say I don't know. Like I've never shot a major match as a competitor.
Okay.
I was supposed to shoot Caribbean Open 2 weeks ago, and ended up working the match and letting them keep my match fee because I wanted to. Honestly, I drank rum for 3 straight days in Puerto Rico after I got there after Extreme, and just lost every desire I had to shoot.
Well, just remember, you have to eat paella.
I ate a bunch of paella.
the one big thing is the podium and the paella.
The paella was delicious. I had the opportunity to work with Yi Min, and his tenure as president is his tenure as president.
Mm-hmm.
But he's an extremely experienced RO, and
Mm-hmm.
and he was one of the ones that kind of mentored a lot of the ROs, CROs that mentored me at the very beginning, which was less than a year ago. It seems like a lot longer than that. But I worked a bunch of matches at the beginning, right under a bunch of the CROs out of Northern California, out of Richmond and Linden. And Yeeman mentored those guys. So he kind of knew, he'd heard about who I was, that there was another very white Asian out on the scene working a ton of matches.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, you know what? I have the opportunity to learn from this guy. You know what? I'm just not feeling it. Their match director was very confused about that. Like, why would this guy say you can just keep my $225 and I'll work for free? I don't care.
Right, because you've already booked your room. Like, you've already booked.
Yeah, everything's paid for. We had a bedroom Airbnb with a bunch of the other Austin guys. It's not like I was out. I'm out my match fee, which I made back by selling my ammo.
Oh, there you go.
Because I didn't want to fly 700 rounds of 9mm back home.
Right.
So I flipped my ammo to one of the local guys, gave him a deal, and took home some cash, and was like, all right, I'm good.
11 pounds of ammo, yes. Or do you have ammo? No.
11 pounds, absolutely. Sure.
The trick is just to find the right bag to fly with it.
Yeah.
Because you can't have a bag that's too heavy, because then you're just eating weight out of your 50-something
Yeah,
pounds.
I flew this time, was my first experience flying with guns to a match, and I used just a large soft side duffel bag. I can absolutely say that before I fly to Pan American in Aruba, I will be buying a Pelican 1615 Air, which is what everybody told me I should have bought in the first place.
But now you've experienced the not having.
Now I know. I mean, I had enough to take my guns, take my belt, take my ammo. I use one of those Save Your Gear small backpacks, so I just stuffed all my clothes that I could take into that and used that as a carry-on.
I do like that backpack. I have that backpack.
It's great. I switched over to it from like a rolling Milwaukee pack-out cart a while back. I went through this like string probably last year of like probably 4 or 5 different methods I was trying to transport stuff, and finally just settled on a RO bag and a older range bag, large like Cabela's range bag as my RO bag, and then the Save Your Gear. And it works. Fits in the Miata well, can fit a duffel bag of clothes in there, my backpack and my RO bag, and I'm set, and I can still like see out the window.
Yeah. Yeah, you have enough space, enough stuff, but not too much stuff.
Exactly. I tend to pack rat, so yeah, it's try not to just bring everything in a kitchen sink that I with me is difficult sometimes, because I will try.
Yeah. Yeah, and for me, I'm the same way. Like, if I have space, I'll take it. But I've also gone through the phase of what can I live without?
Exactly. I went to, because I had a couple days between Extreme and flying out, and I was staying with some friends. So I got everything packed up on Monday, flew to fly out Tuesday, and I was like, I'm going to the UPS store because
Hmm.
I got to make sure that I'm underweight. And I was at like 50.8. I was like, all right, I can lose a pound pretty easily. I'm just glad I'm not sitting at like 60 and having to figure out where to cut 10 pounds worth of stuff.
Right. Well, and I don't know if you've ever noticed, but like when we go to Cardinal, some people will always ship to that location, or I don't know if the UPS or FedEx repacks their stuff in like a
Mm.
tote. I'm considering like getting a tote like that's shippable, and like if you need to take it somewhere, like and ship extra crap that you don't necessarily need.
That's a good way to do it. I never thought about that. I can say that there's some matches this year where I think I am probably going to take advantage of just shipping ammo there.
Hmm.
I mean, for me, it's never been as big of an issue just because I drive everywhere.
Right.
So I'm not as worried about flying it. Like I'm really hoping that there's a way to either just I'm assuming there will be a way to buy match ammo for Pan American. That's one that I'm probably just going to suck up the additional cost and just buy 9 major match ammo.
Yeah. Major ammo, major nine. Shit. Who are you gonna buy that from though?
I hope that their whoever their distributor is has it. If not, I mean, for that match, I'm not as worried. I'm going to be flying 2 check bags for that.
Yeah.
11 days in Aruba, where I know I'm going to have like presentable clothes for closing ceremonies and awards and stuff. Yeah,
Just fold your underwear inside out. It'll be fine. Like, you remember? I don't know. It's a skit or something where it's like you got one pair of underwear. You wear it. You wear it one day right way. You turn it around.
I
you
believe
flip
me,
it around.
I've done some degenerate things while I've been on the road. I've seen my fair share of laundromats in various strange cities at this point.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not wearing my match jersey half the time because I like it or because I think it's cool. No, I'm wearing that because it's my last clean shirt.
Right. Nothing wrong with it. That was the nice thing about techwear shirts. I mean, you didn't come into the sport when we had techwear RO jerseys were the
No,
norm. Those you could literally shower with them, like wear them in the shower, wash them, hang them like and wring them out, hang them up to dry. They'd be dry and fresh in the morning.
it's not a bad deal.
No, it's not because like you're like, all right, I don't have to worry about like I can only survive with one of these and wash them every day. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't like you were having to go to the laundromat and like clean it. Like
the RO jerseys are one where I now own enough of them to last a full major match.
yeah. Yeah, and that's a nice thing. And then they give you some if you work in nationals, like you can request a few.
Yes.
I mean, they don't have your name on them, but who cares?
I told them I didn't need them this year for factory gun just because I've got 3 or 4 now.
Yeah.
And I do love the Zero Sports jerseys. They are my favorite. They're comfortable. Yeah, I think I've now got 3 CRO jerseys.
I have 2. I have a Techwear and the black Ray Zero Sports. I'm waiting until I get my green one.
Oh, see, I'm good. I'm gonna buy a couple more. I think over the spring, end of spring, I'll buy a couple more before Pan American.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they were told the NROI staff they want the 2 of us to wear our US NROI jerseys, which that makes sense, 100%. That's
because you don't have stripes.
I don't have stripes yet.
And their shirt is lame.
It's an interesting looking jersey.
It's like a muted zebra.
Yes, I will say the one thing on the Iroa jerseys I really do like and wish ours had is the little pocket, like right on the chest here, fits for overlays. I think that's
nice.
That's a neat feature. But yes, it's a very classic officiating jersey for sure.
Right. Now, well, the only people I really call zebras are hockey officials.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are zebras, and those are bad zebras.
Those are bad zebras. I played hockey for 15, 16 years.
Okay, all right. Now we're gonna go down this rabbit hole. Let me guess. Were you a forward?
Actually high school. I was a defenseman. After that, I played center again, and then before that, I played center.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You can't see it because it's way up there. It's a bunch of hockey crap, but I
Nice.
got a shelf over here. I am not I have never played hockey. I do want to. I would love to dump this sport sometimes and go be like, honey, I'm buying goalie equipment. First, I got to learn to skate.
I have thought about it. I haven't skated with a stick in my hand in over 10 years now, probably. I've thought about playing beer league. There's one down in San Antonio, one in Austin. And I'm just like, nope. The 15 concussions through high school and then afterwards, I'm good.
Yeah, but you get to trip people for fun.
I believe I led my senior year in high school. I believe I led the league in penalty minutes. It was either junior or senior year.
Now, what were those slashing hookings?
There was a couple that were probably a little past the point of what would have been considered good taste.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. But remember, you're in Texas, so you got to just scream Dallas Stars.
I grew up outside of Philadelphia.
Okay. Oh, so you're a Flyers fan.
I am a Flyers fan.
That's better than a Penguins fan.
Yes, it is. It is significantly better than a Penguins fan.
The only good thing about the Pittsburgh Penguins is Sidney Crosby can still fucking play after a 20 years.
As a kid, I hated the guy. As a full-grown adult now, I respect him.
Well, remember, he's always Sid the Kid.
Yeah.
He will never be not Sid the Kid.
No, and realizing now he's pushing 40 and he's still performing at a top level. I mean, like, yeah, when you're younger, you absolutely hate him. And I also, after I stopped playing, it was probably 6 or 7 years before I even watched a hockey game. I was burned out on it. I'd been playing my whole life and I just didn't want to think about it. I moved to Texas where you don't have to think about hockey all that often. And
no, hockey's good. And they got some good players down in.
They do,
Dallas.
and Dallas actually has a really good supportive culture because their team's usually good.
Yeah,
I don't know how Dallas hockey would be if they went on a 10-year run where they were just bottom of the league bad, but they've been consistently decent to very good since they moved there from Minnesota. So they've never had to find out what a 10-year dry streak will look like.
Oh yeah, don't remind me. My team is the Blackhawks, right?
I have zero sympathy for you,
dude. This rebuild is the longest thing.
Yeah. The 3 Stanley Cups you got in 10 years before that, though, I don't have any sympathy.
No, that's fine. But John, I mean, they formed a dynasty, but the problem is you start selling. They had to sell off players and pieces, and they couldn't afford to keep everybody. And then people retired, and then you're like, and all you see is they have a great game, and then you see the next game, it's like, what the fuck?
I think the future's looking pretty good for him though. Connor Bedard he's a legit generational talent.
Yeah, he is. Frankie Nazar will do fine. Spencer Knight is holding him together. I love my boy Arvid Soderblom in net with him, but
I would like it if they could, because they're getting to the end of the careers and contracts are going to be running out. I wouldn't mind seeing if they'd bring back Kane and Taves for one more year. Cheap.
Yeah, and I don't think Taser will come because he's playing for the Jets, his hometown.
He's in his retirement destination, which God knows why anybody would want to retire to Winnipeg, but who knows?
Well, that's where he's born and raised, and he lives. So I was
born and raised in I was born in South Korea. I was raised in Pennsylvania, and I haven't been back in 10 years.
Well,
Mid-Atlantic sectional will be my first time.
You're not a millionaire. Just remember, these guys.
That's true. That's true.
These guys are millionaires. Even the crappy ones at least make $1 million a year.
Oh yeah. No, actually, I will be going back to my hometown for the first time in 10 or 11 years for Mid-Atlantic sectional and Area 8 this year.
There you go. No, I love watching hockey, and everyone's like, "Why do you like hockey so much?" Because it's entertaining. Baseball is boring.
Great.
Basketball is too squeaky. Football, they're too overpaid, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm a huge college football guy. I'm a University of Texas is my team, and now that college football is essentially just a minor league of the NFL, I'm not as. It's harder for me. It's harder for me to be invested when I know that the college guys are making more than they're going to make in the pros.
Yep, exactly. I just was talking to my dad about this today. I didn't know that. It was it's minor league for. It's the semi-pro league.
Except that they're making significantly more money than any minor league player does in another sport.
Well, my dad was telling me today too that there's some quarterback, I think, for some team. He hasn't even been to class in 2 years.
Oh, it was what's his name that played for Miami? Carson Beck. Yeah, he hasn't been to class since he graduated from Georgia.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, how is this still acceptable? I thought you.
Yeah. Or these guys that, with the amount of exemptions they had with red shirts, injuries, and COVID, are in like their 9th year of college football.
Yeah.
They're like 27 years old.
Yeah, and I just want to be like Rudy.
Right? Yeah, I definitely think some of the integrity of college football went down the drain with the money, but I can't fault anybody for making money.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Hey,
we do
get
a
it while you
we do a sport. We're some of the only people that do a sport that it's purely for the love of the game.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
100%.
There's no money in this. Even if
I
there's
like
a cash payout at the match, you're still losing money.
Yeah, I think it's funny. People will ask me, like, with traveling and ROing as much as I do, they're like, "Do you make money doing this?" And I'm like, no. I spend significantly less money than I would if I was paying to shoot this many matches. But no, I'm still losing money.
Right. So that's a great segue. After we went on a side tangent of awesomeness, so you've seen a bunch of different staff packages, right? Now, which staff package do you prefer the most? Because a lot of different areas do it a lot of different ways. And how we do it up here, where I'm from in the Area 8 section, is different than Area 3 or Area 6 kind of clubs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious, what's the best package you've seen that,
I'll be honest, the extreme staff package was pretty good. Seven crispy $100 bills wasn't a bad staff package.
Now, was that it? Besides the match?
That was match comped, lunch every day, $700 in cash. That was, I mean, for a January major, I'll take it. That financed Puerto Rico pretty well. I would say it's interesting because I kind of lump, at least for bigger majors, it kind of into two categories. There's ones where they'll reimburse you for your hotel and you book your own, because that's going to be your biggest expense, is going to be lodging.
Right.
Is the ones where they, like, you don't really get any cash, but you're going to get lunch and probably breakfast or just lunch covered, plus they take care of booking your hotel for you. IPSC Nationals, I think, was that way last year.
Yeah, they booked your hotel. They covered
some nice staff gifts, jersey, all that stuff.
Did Bobby cover Did they cover breakfast?
I don't remember if they covered breakfast or not.
I don't know, because I'm taken care of on breakfast. Like, I don't ever have to worry about breakfast.
We all ate. All the ROs were just eating breakfast in the hotel.
Well, yeah, and that,
which was cool, because actually, I remember this. Corey made sure to get the hotel to start cooking breakfast early, so that we could all get breakfast in us before we left for the range.
Right, so you're not like having to stop somewhere or
yes.
get a burrito as you're walking to your stage.
So that was really cool that Corey went out of his way to make sure that happened. But no, I don't think they gave us any cash reimbursement for travel for that match, which is fine, because you still saved me, 6 nights in a hotel is going to probably be more than most matches are giving you in cash anyway.
Right, yeah.
And I do enjoy that with matches where all the ROs are in one hotel.
Yeah.
Especially for big matches.
Sit out there and drink.
Hang out.
It's alcoholics.
It's also a really good opportunity for knowledge exchange.
Yep.
Especially at these matches where you have guys coming in, and half of them are RMs, experienced CROs, and they're from all different parts of the country. So you get to hear and see how people do things in different places.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be honest, I don't really have a preference. I book my own hotels through hotels.com usually, just because I've been doing it forever there. And at this point, I've racked up enough nights with them that I get a pretty decent discount when I book.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mind at this point having to book my own hotel and then just get reimbursed for it, because I don't care. I will stay in the cheapest flea bag motel if I can smoke inside.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the time I can find a motel to stay in that is well below the standards of what a lot of people would prefer to stay in, but I'm also going to be able to pocket a little bit of that reimbursement to cover my gas or whatnot. Mm-hmm. So I'm good with it. It's a place to sleep. I don't care. Like, worst case, the pistol goes on the nightside bedstand table.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to see. Man shot with a crazy future blaster.
Right? Yeah, that's why there's a Glock that usually goes with me too. I don't really want to have to explain to the police why I dropped 29 hollow points into somebody with an open gun.
Exactly.
In a Motel 6 in the outskirts of Albuquerque, New Mexico. But But yeah, I don't really have a preference. I'm honestly just grateful for the match directors going to actually, try to compensate the staff for some of their travel.
Yeah, like I know, like North Carolina, like they do like a cash package where they pay you. I think it was like $350. I think this year it's what it is.
It's good. It's not bad.
No, it's not bad, but like you gotta like it still doesn't cover your hotel. Like if you're by yourself, it doesn't cover your hotel. Which
until you stay in a $55 a night Motel 6, sir.
Okay, all right. So sorry,
it doesn't cover a hotel that's up to like most people's reasonable standards.
Right now, but like I said, now if that hotel is 5 seconds from the range,
not bad.
Right. So we had the last time Area 5 was up in Michigan, it was at a range in Brooklyn, Michigan.
Isn't that where it is this year?
No, it's near Lansing. It's in Oak.
Okay, that's right.
But literally, dude, I could leave at lunch and literally in less than 4 minutes be back to my hotel room, and then in 4 minutes be back. Like in 10 minutes, if I forgot something.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, literally, like you leave the hotel, you take a right, you take a left, you take a right. You're on the range property. Bad. Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
I slept in a tent for a couple matches last year. That was an interesting one.
Hey, that's means I'm being cheap as hell.
That was cheap as hell. There was like a 3-week run I went on. It was like Area 2 Steel Challenge, New Mexico Sectional, and Area 6. I just was like, yeah, the hell with it. We're saving money and I'm sleeping in a tent. That was an interesting one, but it was a fun experience. The weather was good for all of them. A lot of the time when I did that, I was just booking like KOAs that were like $20 a night so I could shower and stuff, and it wasn't bad. And there's
KOA.
And there was electric at the site, so I just run an extension cord to the inside of the tent, charge my laptop, watch a movie, I'm good to go.
Yeah, especially when it's fair weather, right? When it's not crappy out, like sleeping in a tent's not bad.
No, not at all.
And it's not balls.
Yeah, as long as it's not. Alabama was a little bit warm. I was like, by about the third night in there, I was like, I kind of wish I had just sucked it up and bought a hotel. They're compensating me well enough for this match. I probably should have just slept in somewhere with a roof,
right,
and air conditioning. But man, it's fun. It's just I kind of live this just dirtbag life out on the road, and I enjoy it. So why not sleep in a tent once in a while?
Dude, you need to get the hobo sack, like the stick with the hobo sack. You know what I mean? Like the guys, like
yes. Just have my RO, just have my timer and a battery pack, just in a hobo stick on the back, just walking, hitchhiking to the next. I mean, if the Miata ever breaks on the road, somebody's gonna see me with a hobo sack walking down I-20 somewhere. Be just praying to God that Russell Fortney happens to be going to the same match on the same route.
Send him smoke signals.
Yeah.
Now, did Richard take his scooter? Or Ricky's scooter to Extreme?
No, they didn't bring the scooter. Ricky has a new toy.
Oh,
Ricky has a standard like cart, like we all use the beach carts, except he got this thing through some kind of Kickstarter, and it's actually remote controlled. So Ricky was just taking his cart out for a walk.
Oh my God, because I remember Fonzie had the battery powered cart that you could just hit the button and it pulls itself along, right? Like it just pushes itself behind you. No, that's cool.
This one he's just got like a little remote control in his hand, and it just goes with him. It's spectacular. I was like, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
I've been eyeing up. Who is it that has? There's a couple guys out of the Southeast that have them. David Clay and Sean Pham both have them.
Those Sean Pham has fucking everything, dude.
Well,
like
that's fair.
He's also look at my Infinity that's got a diamond as the the mag release.
I was thinking about his diamond encrusted range panda, but
that too. Well, he's a jeweler. Like
hey, it's that marketing, man. That's a tax write-off.
Exactly.
Sean and David both have those four-wheeled scooters, and those are pretty sick.
Yeah, because especially for like the PCC, the gun just sticks vertical.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And you just have a little bit of crap in the basket, like
you're good. That's all you need. I think both of them have figured out ways to mount their range backpacks to them. It's like I was looking at them and doing the research. Like, can I figure out a way to mount like one of these things onto the back of my Miata?
Dude, if you find a way to put a hitch on it, like
you can. There is a company that sells hitches for Miatas. I've looked.
And then you just put the little the grate down that you hook into
Yep.
the hitch, and you just strap it on there. It looks really weird, but
It already looks weird enough when I'm in my Miata. It does not weirder does not bother me.
this is fair enough. There's only so low you can go, and then it's fine, right?
Right? Yeah. At this point, I've hit it. I'm driving around in the thing. It doesn't have side skirts on it because I ripped them off accidentally driving around a ranch with night vision on.
Oh, there you go.
And I missed a tree stump.
Ooh.
Didn't mess up the car. Just pulled the side skirts off, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. I'm not bothering with this.
There you go. That's not
They're
bad, then.
they're in a barn.
So how many major matches did you shoot last year?
There's
Oh, hang on. Let me guess. 12.
okay, is the question how many did I shoot or how many did I work?
Well, how many did you go to? That's a better question. Okay.
How many did you attend?
Yes.
And if we're counting PCSL in that, which I do, 17.
Okay, that was my next guess. Okay.
One PCSL major, that West Coast out at Richmond, one Steel Challenge major, Area 2. And
that is so boring to me.
It was an interesting weekend. I won the only trophy I've won at a match for C-Class RFPO, which you win C-Class RFPO, you're the fastest kid at Fat Camp. That's not a trophy. That's not a trophy that you mount and like show guests as soon as they walk into your house. Hey, look what I did.
I don't even have any of those.
Look, I beat some 70-year-olds and some children. Like it's not it's not like that's a participation trophy at its best, but it's definitely in my house. It's just not. Notice it is not publicly displayed behind me.
There you go.
And then the rest were USPSA or IPSC. I think IPSC Nationals was the only IPSC I did last year. The rest were Area 2, Area 4, and Area 6 were the area matches, IPSC Nats, and then the rest was just this sporadic group of level 2s. Mm-hmm. Dragons Cup was in there, and that might as well be a level 3.
I think they even, I don't know if they counted it as a level. I think the first couple of years they did count it as a level 3.
It was not this year. It was a level 2. And I guess in terms of staff packages, if you want to go into that, Dragons was probably the best.
Yeah, but Marco doesn't care because it's a tax write-off.
Like
that match is designed to lose money. Marco puts on a good match, and so does Billy. Billy Dodson.
Awesome match.
Right, but you can't. Normal match directors, listen to me here. You can't compare yourself to Dragon's Cup. He is okay with losing all of the monies.
Yeah. The amount of money Marco is okay with, or at least is willing to lose to put that match on, is more than the budget of a lot of major matches.
Right. And that's his prerogative, right? So he can write it off. It works.
And that match is the one where in the random staff draw I won an Atlas. So that's the match where I can say that if I want to equate things, that's the match that broke me even on the year. It's why I'm shooting an Atlas.
There you go. So are you shooting the Titan, or not the Titan, the Chaos then, or?
So what happened was I won an Artemis, or I won any yellow gun they made, and I won the Artemis. I got it back in December. I'm a weird human. I did not love the new Alpha Grip, which is what everybody loves. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to lie and tell you I'm a huge fan of shooting LO. Mm-hmm. I shot CO before that. I love my Glock. I enjoy shooting my Glock and CO. To me, there's not really a big enough actual difference between CO and LO. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't in love with the Artemis. It's a great gun. It's obviously one of Atlas's most popular offerings. I had a buddy up in Dallas who shoots for Vulcan, and he was looking to offload the Chaos he used to shoot in open, and I was like,
"You're talking about Ryan."
I am talking about Ryan.
Fun fact: he was a DJ.
He's a solid dude. I love Ryan. He was looking to offload his Chaos, and we were shooting a PCSL 1 gun up there, and I was talking to him about it, and I was like, man, if you're just trying to sell it, I want to shoot open. To me, that's the one thing from working majors and seeing the top level open guys come through. It's like, okay, if I'm going to play the game, to me, open is just the epitome of the gamer side of the game.
Yep.
It's pure speed, pure drag racing. And I'm a fat, slow guy, but I'm still like, that looks awesome. I want to do it. So I was like, hey, if you're just trying to flip this thing, hey, how about we just swap gun for gun? The Atlas you've got has a really low round count on it because it's been rebuilt a couple times by Atlas. It's 9 major, which is going to be easier for me with reloading. Let's just swap them straight up. I'm good with it. A couple people have told me I'm an idiot, but whatever. I got the gun I wanted. Ryan was able to flip an LO gun a lot faster than you can flip an open gun.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, no, I'm shooting a Chaos right now, and I love it. It's so much fun.
Dude, I love shooting open. Like everyone says, like, oh man, like yeah, LO is the thing in the future. I'm like, I only shoot open. That's the thing.
Do I think LO is the thing in the future? Yeah, I think it probably is. Some combination of LO and CO and, 141 mags, 23 rounds, 24 rounds. Yeah, I do think there's a reason why those are the 2 biggest USPSA divisions. They can appeal to the widest variety of people with the widest variety of guns. But man, if you want to talk about the game you want to talk about this sport as a game and being able to play the game to the absolute fullest extent of divisional rules, man, opens where it's at.
Right. Oh,
and I am a fan of Major Power Factor.
I love Major Power Factor. My Charlies don't hurt as bad, guys. It's
right?
Okay.
Same.
Charlies are fine. Now, do I believe that using open like Major as a crutch? No. I still need to shoot more alphas, but
yeah, that's at the end of the day. Like you look at Christian, Christian's gonna win open most of the time, whether he's shooting major or minor, because he's shooting a lot of alphas.
Yep.
And he's very fast. But yeah, I mean, there's trade-offs to majors for sure. A lot of it financial. When you break guns, way more often than minor power factor breaks guns.
Yep. Well, and for you, like you're gonna buy major ammo. I make my own major ammo.
The only reason I'm not loading right now is that I haven't been able to fit the 650 I bought from a buddy into the Miata yet.
You can fit it at home somewhere.
I can fit it at home in my RV. It's going to be right actually next to the computer where I'm sitting at right now.
Here's the thing. Why don't just go buy a movable shed?
That's the other option that I'm considering, is just buying the shed and putting it in there.
Yeah, like that would make sense.
That probably would make more sense.
I mean, it's all good, you never.
Either way, but yeah, no, I will be loading. I cannot justify the cost of buying Major Power Factor Major 9 for a full season.
Yeah, well, especially for you going and working all these matches, like it adds up, right? Like
I would tell any ammo company that sells 9mm major ammo, I will drive that Miata at every major match in the year this year. You just let me know. I'll put your logos all over it like a NASCAR vehicle.
Yeah, there you go.
just save me from having to load my own 9 major, and you got a deal. Well, I'll drive that thing around like it's Earnhardt Jr.'s car.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so speaking of, how many matches are you attending this season, including what you've already gone to?
Including what I've gone to. So I think the number is currently at 28.
Gee, well, luckily you work from remotely.
Yeah, I think it's 28. I have originally I had a hard cap number at 25 and then realized that was going to get passed. Which is already a stupid number. 25 is a dumb number.
So if you think about it, all right, well, like, yeah, you shot some in January and you're going to do some in February, or did. Most of the season is what? April to October?
March. I think March is really when things start to ramp up for me,
especially down in the South and in Texas.
Yeah,
in Texas, you got to shoot before it gets hot.
Yeah, I have zero desire to shoot a major in Texas between about June and September.
Yep, and most people don't.
It looks like the next one I've got is the North Texas Race Gun Sectional. I'm only working that on Friday. It's Friday-Saturday match. I'm not shooting it. I'm only working Friday because the RO seminar that Matt and I organized is Saturday, Sunday, and I kind of have to be there. The next one after that's aimed for the coast, which I think Jack said he needed more ROs, so if anybody listens to this wants to work aim for the coast and Holt, I'm sure Jack Lancaster would love to hear from you. And then, yeah, it gets into it. I know I've got like 2 runs in here where I think I'm on the road 6 weeks in a row. Yeah, like beginning of April through June, pretty middle of June, I think it's looking like 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. There's a couple long runs, but there's nothing that's going to be as bad as that 9-weeker I did last year.
Yeah, that's still a long stretch.
And what I tried to do is work it so that there were some matches where I could pretty much just go one to the other, and they were relatively close, crash with friends or whatever on the way.
Mhm.
You know, I'm pretty good at doing this on the cheap as best I can.
All right, so what's your on the road meal then? Like if you're going, like you're on the road, you're driving in the Miata, and you need to get food. What are you one who buys snacks beforehand with a cooler in the car and just eat like a PB&J?
I used to. Lately, it's been. I'm a disgusting trash person. I'm a big fan of truck stop hot dogs.
Wizard fingers?
Yeah, man. I generally stick to truck stops when I'm driving really long distance, just because they're convenient. I go to Love's usually. I'm a big fan of Love's truck stop hot dogs.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. And you know they're going to be decently clean.
They're going to be the truck stop itself is going to be decently clean. You get 10 if you have their app, you get like 10 cents off. That's who I ought to be trying to get sponsored me is gas stations.
Yeah. Buc-ee's. Beaver nuggets, bro.
Can I cuss on your podcast?
Yes, of course you can.
Okay, so being from Texas, you know, there's Buc-ee's everywhere now, especially through the Southeast. Going to Buc-ee's outside of Texas is kind of like screwing your sister. It feels the same, but something ain't right.
That's fair enough.
I've been to a couple throughout the Southeast, and every time I'm in there, I'm like, this is what I'm expecting, but it's not right.
Brisket on the board.
It's so good though. Now I usually do Love's because the hot dogs are reasonably priced and the bathrooms are clean. And if I need to sleep for a couple hours in the Miata in a truck stop parking lot, I know with a reasonable chance I'm not going to get like mugged in the Love's parking lot.
Right. Well, as long as the lot lizard doesn't bother you.
Who said it's bothering me?
There's no room in the Miata for a lot lizard, bro.
Hey man,
there's too many range bags.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll throw them in the trunk. I can try.
How did we get down? It's okay.
I don't know. We should probably find a different route. Yeah,
that's fine. No, okay. So you're a Love's truck stop hot dog guy.
Yeah, big fan. Waffle House too. Big fan of Waffle House.
Oh, I mean that's okay. Fair enough.
I told you I was a disgusting trash person. I can live off Waffle House, hot dogs, and McDonald's for pretty extended periods of time.
Dude, I've got a coworker, dude. Like, he goes to Taco Bell every day for lunch, every day, and gets the same thing.
I haven't been to Taco Bell in a minute. When I lived in Southern California, I was going to Chipotle about 4 times a week.
Shit, you must have been a millionaire then. Fucking $20 lunches.
I was working in a high-end Italian restaurant. I was doing pretty good out there, actually.
Oh, okay.
That's my background. I spent 10 years in the restaurant business, generally in fine dining. I did pretty well in that. But
did you ever work at a place that had a star?
I never did. It's funny. I worked in places that were very good, but I never worked in a place with a star. I've eaten at one with 3. And I was explaining it to somebody, and I was like, okay, so like there's 13 or 14 3-Michelin star restaurants in this country. There are more MLB players than there are waiters in 3-Michelin star restaurants in the United States. I was like, when I was good, when I was at the top of my game in that business, I made a goodly bit of money and I was very good at my job, but I was playing AA, AAA ball at best.
Right.
The guys at the Michelin star places they're the utmost professionals. They're some of the best waiters you'll ever see in your life.
Their tism must be strong.
Oh, very strong. Very strong. Mm-hmm. Most of them, they'd probably be really good USPSA shooters.
Yeah, you're probably right. And then they're just going to scream, "Yes, chef!"
Yeah. Yeah, I've been out of the industry now for a couple of years, and I kind of miss the money on demand that I don't entirely have to report all of to the IRS. Mm-hmm. I do not miss late nights, early mornings, dealing with the various, any restaurant, USPSA's politics may be an interesting drama-filled show. Any restaurant in the country can put that to shame on an average Friday night.
Mm-hmm. Sounds fair. Yeah, I mean, I would love to eat at one of those fancy places, but I would not want to see my wallet afterwards.
I got lucky. Somebody else paid the bill.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
It's like you're eating art, and it's a very strange experience.
Yeah, the weird part to me for most of these, like the weird funky dishes they make, it's like, okay, it's supposed to be this, but they deconstructed it and made it look and taste like this, and it's like,
and it's very peculiar. I view, like, honestly, I view some of these like high-end custom 2011s almost like the 3 Michelin star restaurants. Like, I almost would feel bad shooting this. It's a work of art at that point.
Mm-hmm. That's a good analogy. I like that. How did we get on mission? I don't know. Anywho, I'm losing my brain while we're taking this stuff, but it's okay because this is actually entertaining, and hopefully you guys are enjoying it. I know I'm enjoying myself, but so you're crazy. You're gonna work 28 major matches this year.
I'm kind of expecting that I'm gonna shoot probably less than that. I'm not anticipating shooting all of them.
There's where I was going with that. So, how much ammo do you plan to take to most of these matches? Like, I have a hard set rule: 500 rounds, right? Like 500 rounds should be plenty if I'm working the match.
Realistically, 5 to 600. I'll usually bring, if I'm going on the road for a couple weeks, I'll bring enough for all the matches, and worst case, I have to go buy some on the way. Now that I'm going to be loading my own 9 major, probably just take, if I'm going on the road for 2-3 weeks, I'll just take 2,000 rounds with me. And again, I'm trying to figure it out kind of. I've been looking at my schedule. Like, I know that with Pan American in August, I want to shoot heavy through like, June, July, really get ramped up. I'm a B-class shooter on a good day, but that's still a match where I'm going to be shooting and I'm still going to have the words USA on my chest. I do want to perform well there.
Right.
So I'll probably ramp up my shooting before then and probably take it a little bit easier in the spring and the spring. I've kind of been narrowing it down. There's some level 2s that I'm just like, I don't know if I'm going to shoot this, but I definitely still want to work it. Right. I am a peculiar one. I have had a very interesting time explaining this to people. I genuinely like working matches more than I enjoy shooting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's some mindset. There's some mental issues with my game. I'm very hypercritical of myself to the point that I can almost make shooting not fun for myself. Mm-hmm. So I know I don't think I'm a great, I'm modest enough. I think I'm a good range officer. I don't think I'm the best. I go to every match and I'm still trying to learn. There's things I still want to get better at, but I'm consistently good at it. Whereas I would not say I'm a consistently good shooter. Mm-hmm. So I don't have that critical thing with the working, and I enjoy it. Like, I think that I can make a bigger impact in the sport as a good range officer than I'm ever going to make as a mediocre shooter.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you think about it, there's not a lot of ROs out there who aren't decrepitly old. Like, you see the younger guys. I love Paul Hernandez, but Paul's getting up there in years. So is Jay Warden.
Yeah,
those guys who are up there, they're not going to be around forever, and somebody's got to replace them. If it's the guys in the middle of the towards the younger end of the spectrum of the sport, but not necessarily.
Yeah, like I view, honestly, and I don't know if he'll love that I say this, but to me, I view Russell as kind of like the future of the RO Corps. The immediate future. I don't think Russell's 50. I think Russell's I don't think he's a senior in IPSC, so I think he's in his upper to mid 40s.
All right, let's stalk Russell now. We're in the match. Russell.
Yeah, because I know he wasn't listed as a senior at Extreme.
Yeah, so he might not be.
Because we were squatted together. Yeah. Russell's under 50, and he works 20 plus majors a year, mostly as an RM.
Yeah.
And I know Russell's in the RMI program now. Like, Russell's the immediate future of the sport to me. Mm-hmm. And he's a hell of a good RO. He's a good RM.
Just don't talk bad about his water.
I was thinking about that. I was drinking a Perrier in Puerto Rico, and I was like, "Oh, I'm drinking Fortney's water." Yeah, I think Russell is. There's not that many ROs that are going to work 20 plus matches a year, so it's an easy comparison to use Fortney because he's out there a ton, and he's working as an RM too. I mean, he's Russell. I may this year, I don't know. I may work one or two more than Russell does, but I guarantee he's going to spend more days on a range than I am.
Yeah.
And he's like I said, he's very good at what he does. I enjoy shooting with Russell. He's a good time to shoot with, and I enjoy working matches he's at because I do learn. He's a great sounding board for knowledge and doing this job better.
Yeah, he was my RM at Kentucky in 2023. I believe it was 23. Where, no, or was it 24? No, I can't remember what year it was. He was the RM though. So this is 25. I'm not. Yeah, it must have been 23 or 22. I don't know. Anyway, Russell was the range master. I had to give my first DQ to Russell to handle.
Yeah.
I had to DQ somebody for breaking the 180 and it wasn't this way. It was this way.
You're the only other person I know that has had one of those. I had one. It was my first major match. We had somebody loading an open gun, slam the mag over the shoulder. That's a very peculiar DQ to have to issue.
Well, and the ground on this bay, so if you think about it, where the shooter kind of is like right here in the middle. Sorry, people listening audibly, it sucks to suck. So the berm is here. The back berm is here. The shooter started in the middle of the bay, and you needed to retreat to the back of the bay where the opening was.
Oh.
So in the grade, as my hand describes, is a little bit like this, right? So they stumbled, and then
oh no.
So and oh dude, it was not a good squad. The squad was like, "What are you kidding me?" I'm like, luckily my wife was on the tablet, being one of my ROs. She didn't see it, and my offside RO wasn't watching either. So it was my word, and this is before video review. So this is my word and what I saw. Without a shadow of a doubt, yes, that's exactly what I saw. I love now that we do have video review. So
I think it's great.
And I DQ'd a couple other people since then and had video review. I'm like, hey, this is what I saw. I'm going to tell the range master this, but go get your video. And by the time he gets here, you can probably have it pulled up. If I'm wrong, we'll get you back in.
Same thing. That's the same thing I'll tell a competitor is, hey, do you have video? If you do, get your video, get it ready. I have no problem being wrong.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
The worst, I hate DQing people. I don't enjoy it. It's not something an RO should take any pride in. For me, I am more than happy if I can take a look at the video, the RM takes a look at the video, and they get to go, hey, nope, reshoot, let's go. That's, ruining somebody and I think that's, competitors spend, you're traveling for a major match, you're going to spend $2,500. I don't want to ruin your weekend. I'm not going to feel good about it. I would much rather have the RM look at the video and go, no, they're good. Cool. Perfect. That's preferable to me. And there's some stuff that just like, you shoot a round off 2 feet in front of you. Yeah, sure. There's nothing that we can do about that. But it's, if the RM can look at it and go, all right, no, that's not a DQ. Cool. Perfect. Does not bother me a bit.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I don't want to, and I've had to where it's their second stage of the match out of a 10-stage major. And you're like, ooh, this sucks. And of course they don't come off a good stage either. So they're really extra angry.
Yep. I take the call that I take real pride in on getting right is scoring. I don't think offhand I've had a scoring call reversed. And that's a matter of pride to me. It means I'm doing my job right and scoring correctly. If, people are fallible, eyes make mistakes, so I have no problem with if I didn't see it or right and the DQ gets overturned, that's perfectly okay.
Yeah, I'd much rather be wrong than.
Yeah, I have no problem. I don't like saying I want to be wrong, but yeah, I would rather be wrong. because then I'm not, and again, like I said, if you do something that's blatantly against the rules and it's obvious and it's, all right, fine, it's a DQ and you know it. But, if I saw it wrong, yeah, I'm more than happy to get that overturned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't
And
want to be right sometimes.
that's why I think video is a really beneficial thing. It doesn't take up time either. I don't believe that video review, eats up and messes up match flow because you can keep having shooters shoot while the RM looks at the video.
Right, especially when you turn it when you just can turn it over to the RM.
Yep.
And that's like, especially on DQs, it's like that's the guy you got to talk to anyway, so might as
Yeah.
well.
Here, talk to the RM. I'm going to go back and keep running shooters.
Yep.
Now, I mean, I'll be in the other spot for that twice this spring. I am working as one of the RMs for level 2 matches in Texas. So there will be that'll be my problem.
Are you doing like a ride along with someone else or?
No.
Okay.
The North Texas sectional in Dallas area and the Lone Star State Championship, they're both 2 RM matches. One of them is the normal match director is actually the other RM. The other one, the RM, is my buddy Hal, who's coming in from Northern California.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of funny to me. Hal was the CRO on the stage at the stage CRO, the second major I ever worked at Dragons. What the fuck? Dragons Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to be RMing a major together like almost a year to the day later.
That's fun.
So it's going to be an interesting experience. It's going to be a challenge. I'm looking forward to it. Being a CRO and working up, I had to get approval from my area director and from Troy, who was gracious enough to grant that, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Right, and that's the nice thing is when you build a reform with some of these guys, it makes it easier to get approvals instead of having to get your name dug out like that. That's why your work record's nice too, right? You look at someone's work record and be like, oh, they worked for so and so. I'll call them or I'll email them.
And that's certainly something that with staffing this, the one where I'm still working on North Texas section staff, which I could really use a handful more ROs. If anybody wants to come work that, please, God message me. But looking through it, previously, and I've always done a very good job. My routine is the second that match is over, while we're doing as soon as arbitration's over, is when I will put in the match into my match work record, just so it's something it's part of my routine. It's done. I'm good. Going through and looking at some of the staff, and I'm like, I know this person's worked matches because we've worked matches together. Their work record's empty. And I'm trying to figure out, who I'm pairing with who, and I want to do it based to create relatively equals level experience on the stages. I'm like, hey guys, please update your work records.
Right? Yeah. It's simple, right? Just to get it updated, it doesn't take long. Like I had to, before I applied my wife for race gun, I had to go in and update her work record. I'm like, shit. Like, so I had to pull up mine, and I'm like, which matches did you work when I worked? Like,
hey, at least you have that as a reference.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and she doesn't really typically work stages, so she does all the staff support kind of stuff. So it's it works like that. But
did she work IPSC Nationals last year?
She did not.
Okay.
We were supposed to both be there. Ended up I needed to back out at one point. We backed out. Hated doing that. I'm not a backer outer. My word is my word. But so when things happen and I can't win a battle, or just can't work out, I backed out. But then, she was going to a concert. And then Corey and I were doing staffing for IPSC Nationals, the original staffing list. And
so I'm actually curious, when did you guys do the original staffing list for IPSC Nationals last year?
Probably a month before the match.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at least 3 weeks. It was like a month or 3 weeks before. No,
like when were you originally approving staff to work that match?
Oh, like super beginning of the year? Like
okay.
But I mean, like actually, like all right, this person's going to work on this stage with this person.
Okay, so I got approved to work that match very late. That's why I was curious.
Oh yeah. So maybe that was one of our like, hey, we need.
I'm assuming somebody dropped out, and I was next up on the list.
Well, I think it was one of those. It was probably one of those where it was like, hey, we don't expect some of these people to show up. Let's add more. And luckily we did, because we still.
I remember I got added to the staff for that like the second week in July, and was like, oh, I guess I'm going to Ohio in a month.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's the worst part. And some of those could be like, there should have been a system. Hey, you're on standby. Let us know if you don't wish to be on standby.
Yeah, I don't even remember when I filled out a staff application for it. I just remember checking my email like sometime early to mid-July, and I'm like, IPSC Nationals. Okay, yes, I'm not going to turn down a Nationals of any sort.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an incredible experience. I got to work with Jim Klugowitz. Kluge. I got to work with Kluge. I texted him. Actually, we talked on the phone yesterday.
How long were you on the phone?
What?
How long were you on the phone?
About 35 minutes.
Oh, that's not that bad.
No, not that bad. I think I had to go. I was in Walmart. No, I was trying to figure out whether I was going to be able to need to leave some guns at Kluge's house when I go to Canada.
Oh, okay.
Because I knew I was going. I think I'm coming straight back from Canada and going straight to Area 5. So I'm like I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with my open gun while I was in Canada.
Right.
Because there's not a lot of Texans that are going to Area 5.
I don't think that's true, but maybe
to staff it.
Oh yeah, no.
No, there's not. I don't know any of the other ROs there from Texas. So, no, I'm sure there's plenty of shooters coming up, but I don't think they're going to be there 2-3 days early for the pre-match with my guns.
Well, yeah, because you need them. Yes.
I would like them. I would prefer to shoot. My kind of goal this year with shooting is like, I'm working. Technically, I haven't heard whether I'm working Area 2 yet because I don't think they've started staffing yet.
But you put your email in there right away?
I put my email in like a month ago. And I'll stay in touch with their people. And Ian Parker and I are pretty tight. I'm going up there. So stay in touch with the Area 2 folks. I'd like to work Area 2. That's one of the holy grail matches still for me. But I'm planning on areas 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 8, I think. So my plan is to shoot all the area matches, Factory Gun Nationals, obviously Pan American, both the IPSC matches I'm working in Canada, anything I'm RM for, obviously. But then some of the other level 2s, it might be like, all right, we're on match 5 out of 6 weeks. Like, let's just take a break and work, take an extra night in my own bed. Because again, I don't mind that. I enjoy working, and it's for me. It's not like I'm losing anything not shooting it.
Yeah, and then you're just there to have fun and just work it, and that's always.
And the social aspect, and it's something I enjoy is that because I've traveled around a lot and worked in a bunch of different areas, worked with a bunch of people from different parts of the country, I really appreciate. And I know I've used the term before, the knowledge transfer of getting to see how people do things in other parts of the country. Because there's things we do in Area 4 that they don't do in Area 6 or 2 or 1. So just getting to see the different things. And it's like, just because something's different doesn't mean it's wrong. Mm-hmm. So getting to learn from other ROs, getting to work with Kluge for 3 days at IPSC Nationals was a great experience. Getting to work with the Cali guys, getting to bounce ideas off of Ike. There's some really interesting things they do out in Area 6 in the Carolinas that and I'll actually toss one out. It's that, and I know they do it at Carolina Classic. I suspect they probably do it at the other Carolina matches, but where you have a bay that has a range that has all the bays in one like line, doing that alternating bay system they do there of like one, if it's 12 bay match, 1, 12, 2, 11. So the shooters just take these little hops instead of having like one and then just come all the way back down. Instead of having to come like one really long walk, they just take little hops over a bay and then just work their way right back down. That's interesting to me and something I think I'd like to try at a major if the range is the right layout. I think it has to be the right layout though.
Right, it has to be the right layout for it to work.
Yeah, and it's pretty much, it has to be all the bays are in one straight line.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a fascinating concept that I've never seen anywhere in the country except talking to the Area 6 guys from the Carolinas about it.
Yeah. Well, and not everyone does it exactly as we talked. not everyone does the same thing, and you always find out better and best practices.
Yeah, so like if I can, make the way I do things to be an amalgamation of the absolute best things I've seen in other parts of the country, that just makes me a better RO.
Mm-hmm. It does. It really does.
Because it's funny, when I got into this, my anticipation was to do like what a lot of people do, work 1-2 matches a year as a way to cover costs of shooting majors. That's a perfectly acceptable thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea or intention when I went down this road that this was going to turn into basically what I do as a full-time, I can't say job when you're not making money, but I'm volunteering full-time basically.
Right.
And I had no intention of that. It's just kind of the chips fell that way, and I'm blessed and I'm lucky that my life situation's something that I can do it.
Right.
And I've gotten to meet some really, really, because that's, at the end of the day, this sport is about the people.
Yep.
And I've gotten to meet some amazing people on the road ROing who I'd have never met if I didn't leave Texas.
Yeah. Well, that's the best part. Is right. We do it for the community. We do it for the after range beers. If you drink beers,
I do.
But you know what I mean. It's like you do it for the fun and the camaraderie and the community. We just happen to get to shoot guns.
Yeah, and it's awesome. Like, the worst day on a range, whether I'm working or shooting, is still better than the best day in an office.
That's true.
Well, I mean, as long as I don't shoot myself or something, but yeah.
I just shot myself.
Oh God,
you've seen that video lately? Yeah, that's super old, but how he says that never will get old.
Yeah. I mean, that's the worst case, absolutely. But the best case is I've made some of the best friends I have, and and on the road I've gotten to get close to and get to know and talk to some of the best shooters in the sport, who at my skill level I have no business knowing. But at the end of the day, it's when you realize that all these guys, they're all just people.
Yep, all just regular people who happen to be getting at shooting guns,
and also aren't making any money out of this.
Yeah. The only ones I know who make money at this, my buddy Dan Heitenreiter, he's the only one who knows who makes money doing this because he builds guns, and people.
Yeah, I mean,
time
if
he
you're
shows
not
up to a match, someone is handing him cash.
That's the way to do it. I mean, somebody texted me about this a couple days ago. They're like, hey, how do some of these guys make money? I see them out traveling all the time shooting majors. I'm like, every single one of them instructs.
Mm-hmm.
It's why some of these guys shoot less majors than you think they do, because they're on the road traveling.
Yep.
Because they're traveling to teach, because they make good money doing it, and it's a way they can do that and still shoot and let the sport they love pay for itself. But it's not like there's this plethora of $1 million sponsorship deals around the sport.
Right. Yeah. No. There's no deals like that.
No, it's not the 90s.
Right. No one's driving away in the Mary Kay pink Cadillac.
No, that Corvette that Jake Etherington took home from Race Gun last year was pretty cool.
Yeah, but that's not a normal occurrence. I mean, Hunter's trying to make it more normal. I appreciate. I really do appreciate what Hunter's doing. He's doing some really great things with trying to build that side up, and I think it's good for the sport. Mm-hmm. I will never conceal my open gun because I'm not putting that thing in a waistband holster.
Now that I'm shooting it, I remember that Mike Pan was really pushing Mike off Atlas's team out of Florida. Mm-hmm. Mike was really pushing Hunter to try to let him shoot his Chaos from inside the waistband. And I thought it was ridiculous at the time, and now I'm like, kind of wish that I could shoot my Chaos from inside the waistband, but I don't really want that muzzle anywhere near where it would be going into.
Well, and it'd be nice and warm.
Yeah, nice. It'd be warm. I don't know if it'd be nice.
Yeah.
I am shooting the PCSL Belt Concealment Championship, but I will absolutely be doing that with a Glock.
There you go. Belt. I think he said he was like, I'm going to try to trademark the word belt.
I could be why there's a couple extra letters in it.
Yeah. No, he's a good dude. He's a big supporter of the sport and sponsoring
absolutely
matches, and I love what Hunter does. I think I'm actually wearing. I wear a belt. Yep, I'm wearing a hunter belt.
Am I?
I've got-
Yeah, I'm also wearing
The
mine.
question is, what color are you wearing?
Uh,
The gray color?
it's green. I got it at IPSC Nationals, and it's significantly less green than it used to be because I do daily drive it.
Yeah, there you go. I daily drive my gray one. My I have a belt that works just like Hunter's, made by another manufacturer, and that one's black. But
I love the Hunter belt. It's the only trouble I have occasionally is if I'm like really fumbling around trying to get the buckle off.
mm-hmm.
I told Hunter that if I ever shit myself in a match, that I'm mailing the shorts to him.
Yeah, that could be a little bit. Well, and it likes to slide over. Like
I'll say that in the car, long distance, it is a very comfortable belt to wear when I'm driving, 28 hours in one straight go of it because I'm an idiot.
mm-hmm.
That
Yeah,
just that's a drive that I think I'll split. When I drove from San Antonio, Texas to San Francisco for PCSL last year, that was a drive that I'd like to break into two days next time.
well, now you know.
Yeah. Well, I remember I was like, I'll leave at 7 in the morning and I'll hit Los Angeles probably about midnight and then I'll stop and sleep. And I hit Los Angeles and was like, man, I'm still feeling okay. Might as well drive another 8 hours.
Might as well, right?
Yeah,
Man, dude, Luke, this has been a blast, brother. We're gonna have to do this again at some point.
Absolutely. Catch up with me later in the year and I'll let you know how it's going.
Well, yeah, I'll see you at Area 5, so we'll probably have to do it after Pan Am.
I was going to say, do it after Pan Am. Check in with me then. That'd be a good time.
Yeah. So, man, if people want to get a hold of you, watch your videos, where can they find you?
Instagram's the easiest. It's Asian Luke, one word, _shoots. So Asian Luke shoots. I just did a video about what I keep in my RO bag. Actually, It was something that you had asked me about, and I'd already planned on making the video, so I broke it all out. And I
already told you one thing to put in your bag.
Yes, the black masking tape for hardcover targets is actually a really good idea, and I'm going to go grab some of that.
Well, you've never, if you probably have never thought about it because you've never had to make your targets on the fly on your stage. So.
I never have had to make a target. I've never had to make a hardcover on the fly.
Yep. I've had to do that a couple times, and I'm like, this tape is a godsend.
Yeah, I've had to do it before a match. I've never had to do it on the fly. So yeah, that is absolutely something that I'm going to grab.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. And I guess before we rip it off and I say the catchphrase out, I see you got some partners. Go ahead and share them because we got to give them some love too.
I appreciate that. So yeah, Jason Wood, Targets USA, has taken really good care of me, get me set up with all of his stuff. So if you're wanting some of his pastry dispensers and you see me at a match, I usually have a box of them that I'm happy to do deals for. Out of Dallas Rooftop Shooting Range, Peter, the owner, has been incredibly gracious, especially because I don't even live anywhere near there, and he's been really supportive of me. I really appreciate that. Checkmate Defense out of Southern California. I try to buy all of my, belt accessories, all that stuff for my competition gear from Jeremy and Checkmate. They're small companies, supplier of competition gear.
Dude, I push them so much. When people want an AMG, I'm like, you go there.
That's how I ended up with my AMG, is because I was shooting with their guys at Lone Star last year, and Ronald mentioned, hey, we have AMGs in stock. And I went online, looked at them 30 seconds later, and was like, well, you just made however much money you guys make off an AMG.
Right. People are like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, just it's on there. It's
on there. And they have them in stock consistently.
Buy them now.
Yeah, they're awesome. I actually need to get another one. The only other company, my buddy Zane, we took CRO class together. He's got a new nutrition company called POV Nutrition. He's, just getting started, got out targeting the shooting sports. He's a shooter, and it's powdered hydration and focus beverage. I think I got to demo it at Area 6. I've got my first shipment coming in this week. I think it's going to be awesome, and I highly suggest people check that out. Yeah,
he's ended up being a division sponsor for Buckeye Blast.
I know he's sponsoring matches heavy this year. I know I have a discount code. It's Luke ROs, something like that. I think it's Luke ROs for some quantity off your order.
And they got shorts. He's got shorts on his website.
Yeah, he does. They don't have belt loops on them, unfortunately.
What the hell, Zane?
I know. I need to get on him for gym shorts with gym shorts with belt loops would be optimal.
He's got a crop top hoodie, sweatshirt,
I
but
saw that.
he doesn't have belt loop shorts.
Belt loop shorts would be optimal.
I mean, but the some of the apparel is definitely for the ladies.
Yeah, there's definitely some ladies apparel. I gotta say the guy who's the king of the apparel game in this sport is old Mel Rodero out of South Texas.
Why you say that? Oh, just
Mel has custom made pants.
Oh yeah, I guess those. Okay.
He has his Team USA ones from World Shoot and his MPA pants.
Yeah, they're like tracksuit pants, aren't they?
I believe they are. I believe he has Adidas make them for him.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what sort of deal Mel's worked out with Adidas, but I know that because I know I saw Joe Draghi with a pair of them on at Extreme too, and I was like, Joe, do you and Mel get your pants in a group order? And he was like, yeah, Mel got them taken care of.
Yeah, but isn't Joe like super skinny and like?
Yeah, I don't think they're buying the same size pants.
Oh, okay. I was about to say like
no.
I Joe's not that big.
No. Joe is considerably smaller. But yeah, same. I know Mel had it. I think Mel got that World Shoot team pretty well outfitted with whoever his supplier of his custom pants is.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, get some. I'll reach out to Zane. Maybe I'll get him on the podcast. I know
you should. He's a really good dude. We took CRO together last year, and shot Area 6 together. Stayed in touch. He's a really good guy. I like that I can support. That's something that for me, I don't with sponsorship. I can pay my own way, but if I can work with a company that's owned by somebody I'm friends with, that's and there's a decent amount of exposure going to 28, 29 major matches in a year. So I'm more than happy to put Zane's logo on my shirt and get him some exposure for a new company, and I think he's going to kill it.
Right, yeah, and I think he might have ended up actually working IPSC.
He did. Yes, because me and him both took CRO and then immediately both just drove to Ohio.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, because we were the two newest CROs at IPSC Nationals.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely, and he's got his thing now, so he's not working. I keep harassing him to work matches, but he's got his own business going, and it's definitely something he's sponsoring a ton of them, and that's great for the sport.
Oh, absolutely, yes, it is. It definitely is. But Luke, man, we'll have to do this again. We're gonna do this after Pan Am for sure, but it'll be a blast, and I know I had a great time. But listeners, get out and do the things. We'll see you on the next one.